We're good? Okay. All right, it is 4 o'clock, so I'll go ahead and call the Town Council meeting of March 13, 2023 in order. And the first opening of the meeting would be the invocation of the pledge.
All right, let us pray. Heavenly Father, we thank you for this day. And Lord, as we continue into this new year, we just ask you please lift up and watch over all of our elected officials, not just here locally, but throughout the entire country. And Father, we ask you please allow us to have wisdom and allow us to make the best decisions for our wonderful town. And all these things we pray in Jesus' name. Amen.
Amen.
Terry?
Thank you. Okay, and everyone should have received a copy of last month's minutes. Comments, questions, corrections?
I move to approve the February 13th, 2023 minutes as presented.
I'll second.
Okay, motion is second. Further discussion? Hearing none, all in favor? Aye. Opposed? Thank you very much. Motion carries. And Angie, Treasurer's report, please.
Yes, thank you very much. We were able to get all the audit entries completed for both 630 and 7/1, but all the reports should be up to date, so please let me know if you have any questions about them. We had 3 properties that were advertised for tax sale, but they got them in at the last second, so they did not go to tax sale. And then the only other item is the budget amendment that's on the agenda. Do you want me to talk about that, Michelle? Or didn't know if you had more?
No. So this was, we had taken out travel and training, money for leadership of the mayor, tuition for the assistant administrator position. And so this is just to move that back into the funding budget for the rest of the season. And we had extra money, unused salary from that position in planning and zoning, so we're just taking it out of that and moving it to cover the tuition.
Okay, so we need a motion for this budget amendment?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Comments, questions?
All right, I move to approve budget amendment BJ-02-23.
Second.
Motion second, further discussion. Hearing none, all in favor? Aye. Opposed? Motion carries. Thank you. Anything else on your report, Angie?
No, not this time, unless you have any questions for me.
Okay, thank you. Moving on to the planning department, Mike Bailey.
Members, thank you, Mayor. So the planning commission will have a meeting March 20th, and on that agenda is the St. Mary's Assisted Living Memory Care Facility, and you're doing their final approvals for both building and architectural.
Good.
We did get critical area improvement.
So it will all work out.
The first part of March 3rd.
Good.
Good.
They approved our amendments and they approved the road evaluation for theirs.
Very good.
Okay.
And I saw the car wash is gone. Yeah.
Yep.
Kind of sad.
Have
So
we
what-
heard, have you heard anything about Chesnine's being in the
As far as the car wash.
car wash? Right.
Yes, so we have comments back from both Maryland Department of Environment and from the critical area. And so they, the consultant has those comments and, are going to have fun with them.
Okay.
Because part of the problem, FEMA's gonna be raising the flood elevations in that area, and so, they're trying to take care of all those kinds of things. So it'll be interesting to see how they work that out.
Right.
Supposedly, they had a preliminary meeting with MBE on one side, and they said that they didn't find any of the endangered, threatened species there on site, but we'll see how that progresses.
Okay. And really, this facility is going to be open anyway. It's not like it's an enclosed facility. You just drive through, right?
It is a drive-through,
Right.
that's correct.
Yeah.
Yes.
So, okay. Anything else for Mike?
Yeah, for the memory care, so that will go to planning and zoning and then it comes to us after, or you'll take care of that?
Institutional and
Okay.
you all approve the EDUs,
Perfect.
the plans, and then did the concept approval, and they'll do the final site.
Okay, and then about how soon after do they think they'll break ground?
They've already awarded the contract, I think.
Yes,
Oh,
they're
very
very
well.
eager to get started.
Okay, very good, that's great.
Yep.
Thank you.
Thank you. And everyone should have received a copy of the police report from Corporal Roselle. Anything you would like to add, Corporal?
No,
Okay.
very well.
Just love all the crime prevention checks that you're doing, so I think that's a good thing for all the communities here in town. So.
Thank you for the speed thing by my neighborhood. I'll, as I'm waiting to turn, I watch it, I'm like, oh, look at
And also, Rachel did reestablish the wharf premise check as well, so I think it had expired.
Oh,
Good. Good. Awesome. And I see there was 55 vehicle stops, so along Route 5, I would imagine most of them. Okay. Any other questions for Rachel? Thank you very much. And we'll move on to Town Administrator's Report. Michelle.
Okay, I have about 5 minutes, so I'll probably just stay on the order that we have. So we're gonna have a public hearing, unless you think I should show the PowerPoint during the public hearing.
Yeah, why don't you just
Okay, I'll
do
skip
that,
it,
yeah.
to the next item. Actually, let's skip to, the last item, resolution 3-23 to adopt St. Mary's County hazard mitigation plan. All right, so this is the hazard mitigation plan. It's a large document. So the first hazard mitigation plan for St. Mary's County was completed in 2005, and updates to the plan were completed in 2011 and 2017. I sat on the original committee in 2005, since then Tony has sat in for the town. Hazard mitigation is any action taken to permanently reduce or eliminate long-term risks to people and their property from the effects of hazards. Hazards can take many forms: tornadoes, floods, hurricanes, winter weather, drought. To better prepare to face these natural hazards, communities plan for and implement mitigation techniques for almost any type of hazard that may threaten its people and property. So the plan is required to be updated every 5 years. And we did participate in the process. Tony attended every meeting. I went to a couple when we had some planning sessions. And we are required to approve the plan, just like the county commissioners are, and they have it on their agenda for next week. Part of the plan this time developed a new project website, so anyone can go on that website and kind of learn about the hazard mitigation process and the different projects that are included. They developed and distributed a new online survey, conducted a social media campaign just to try to educate everyone. They also added 2 new hazards as of this update, which was a dam failure, and pandemic and emergent infectious diseases. We understand why. And some new mitigation actions and projects were added to the plan. The hazard mitigation plan forms the foundation for both St. Mary's County and Town of Leonardtown's long-term strategy to reduce disaster losses and break the cycle of disaster, damage, reconstruction, and repeated damage. The purpose of this plan is to identify, plan, and implement cost-effective mitigation measures through a comprehensive approach known as hazard mitigation planning. We have had this out on, we've actually put it on our Facebook when they were doing the social media campaign to get people's input. As I said, we participated in all the meetings. There's a memo, which is part of what I was just reading from Gerald Gardner, and we have reviewed the plan. There are a couple typo type things in here that we are going to report back to them, but other than that, I mean, I think they captured everything that we had talked about in the meetings. So the resolution that's before you today is Resolution 3-23 to adopt the, it's called the 2022 because that's when I started working on it, St. Mary's County Multi-Jurisdictional Updated Hazard Mitigation Plan. Any questions?
Michelle, this is pretty much the same as what the commissioners are gonna approve next week.
It's exact same document.
Exact same,
They
okay.
will approve, and then it has to go to FEMA, and they won't approve it till both jurisdictions have approved it.
And would you say they added the dam language?
Dam break, and the dam breaks, they added that as a hazard, and then,
And as you all recall, that was their last flooding out at what used to be the Maryland Antique Center. That was because of a dam that broke.
Oh, yeah. So that, we were, I just asked,
Yeah.
do we have a dam? So that,
But
okay.
it's in the county, but it's
Oh,
not
okay.
in town. But, yeah.
but also, we have to have these plans in place if we're gonna get FEMA money, which we just did for the 2019 flooding. So we have utilized that, but if we weren't part of this plan, we would not be eligible for some of the FEMA grants as well.
And that doesn't cover businesses, that just covers the town and
No.
what we have.
No, it can.
Okay.
For what we got was damage to our property. We got money back from FEMA.
Okay.
But there are things in this plan that talk about properties that have, and is there a way to move the people out of that area? But usually requires buying the property. I think St. Mary's County did that in Great Mills after one of the original plan, actually, I think. So it's not necessarily just for funding. It's really to try to plan so that there are less impacts if there is a natural disaster.
Okay. Thank you.
Okay, any other comments, questions?
All right, I move to approve resolution 3-23 to adopt the 2022 SMC Multi-Jurisdictional Hazard Mitigation Plan update.
I'll second.
Motion and a second. Further discussion? Hearing none, all in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Thank you very much.
All right, it's almost time, so I can talk a little bit about the arts and entertainment resolution, which is what our public hearing is about at 4:15. And this is for resolution 2-23, a resolution in support of redesignation of Leonardtown as an arts and entertainment district. I'm gonna go ahead and close this up.
Yeah, it's 4:14, but we'll go ahead and close the regular meeting, open the special public hearing.
I move to close the regular meeting and open the public hearing in regards to resolution 2-23, resolution in support of redesignation of Leonardtown as an arts and entertainment district.
I'll second.
Okay, motion and a second, all in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Thank you very much.
Okay, as I said, resolution 2-23 is part of the process for us to be redesignated as an arts and entertainment district. We are the only arts and entertainment district in Southern Maryland, and we were designated originally in 2013, so our 10-year redesignation process has begun. We did have a group from the state, a committee that will be hearing our application, came down and did a tour in January. last month I went before the Board of County Commissioners and did the same presentation, and they did vote to extend the property tax credit, because the county does the property tax credit as well as the town, because our property tax is so minimal that we really needed the counties to be in conjunction with us. So I want to just run through this PowerPoint real quickly, just as a reminder, and for the audience, of some of the things that we've accomplished with over the last 10 years. So we are the only Southern Maryland district still today, and we are one of 29 arts and entertainment districts across Maryland. I think there were 23 when we were originally designated, I believe. So I just wanted to show what all the buzz is about, because I think there is a lot of buzz about Leonardtown at this time. I think our variety of restaurant choices and certainly the outdoor seating has made a huge impact on the entire district and just made it a more vibrant community. We have events of all sizes. Our little, on the right-hand corner, our little tiny Christmas on the Square, 10,000 of our closest friends. And of course the Veterans Day Parade, and then just, yoga at the wharf, the concerts. I think it's very nice that we have such a variety of events and for lots of different groups of people that enjoy them. We started early on with First Fridays, and it's grown to First Weekends, and I think that has been an important piece of our arts and entertainment. They have a theme each month. We have our arts and entertainment First Friday in September, which is always really popular. We started Movie Fest last year, and we have a couple venues now. We have the Alice in Leonardtown mural, which has the movie screen in the center. We had ordered a blow-up screen for the wharf and also a smaller portable screen that can be used in smaller venues, like in the square or an individual business. And Shark Fest is actually coming in August 2023. We're going to be showing Jaws down at the wharf, so that'll be a fun one. The Summer Music Festival has grown by leaps and bounds, especially in the last couple of years, both in the square and at various venues, Port of Leonardtown, and then the On the Water's Edge concert series, which is at the wharf, which was huge last year, and we are continuing this year. Jimmy Hayden has agreed to sponsor it again this year. We also added a lot of different activities during the events, especially the concerts, to make them more all day. The chalk art contest that was down at the wharf in September was very popular, but we had lots of different themed concerts. And then also our plein air paintings. We have 2 large plein air events scheduled this year. One is in April. All of our wonderful galleries and studios, not just to display art or sell art, but actually having the workshops and the activities. We've added a lot of wonderful venues, the Port of Leonardtown Winery, Fenwick Inn, indoor and outdoor space, and then of course most recently the Rex, which is really added a lot of activity to town. And then L-Town Alley last year, which was our big project last year, and that's going to be another venue that we'll be able to have smaller events in this year. And then our public art, as you know, we've had a number of public art projects, and the most recent one is the archways up in the upper right-hand corner, and those hopefully will be done by June 30th. And then Leonardtown Wharf has grown by leaps and bounds as well. Frogtown Ice Cream was added. We have the seaplane rides, all the classes for kids and adults, and then the sunset cruises as well. A lot of new shopping venues, which Shepherd's Old Field and the new shops at the Bell Motor is going to be huge for different entry-level businesses. So, you don't have to man your shop at Shepherd's Old Field at all. You have a shared register, and then this next step would be at Bell Motor. You will have to man your shop, but it could be very small, and then you can go out onto your own. Good Earth, which has been here since I think like 1998 or something like that, a long time. Another important thing, we added the Visit Leonardtown MD website. This is actually funded by LBA. Brandy actually updates it and keeps it current with all the Leonardtown activities. We were really struggling with the very government-faced website that we have for the town. So now all event-related stuff is on this website, and you go to the town website and it takes you here. The trolley last year was huge, and we're already have a lot of excitement this year. And then also, the visitors, opening the visitor center 2 years ago, I think has been also they have a lot of visitors there, and it helps get the information out. And then our downtown plan has been very important in the last 3 years that we've been working on. We're on the new phase, as you know, for the wharf activities and a couple of properties in the West Fenwick extension, and we've talked about those in depth. And then, of course, the incentives. There's a property tax incentive for anyone who owns property in the district. And there is a map in your packet at the end that shows what the district is. It's just the downtown core. It can only be 100 acres. So originally in 2013, when we did this, we had to count each parcel and make sure we were below 100 acres, and we're at like 90, 97 or something like that. So we are proposing that we keep the map the same. We can petition to enlarge it at some point, and possibly when Tudor Hall gets started, we may want to enlarge that. But if you own property within those boundaries and you do a renovation for an art-related business, you can not pay the difference in the property tax from the original assessment to what the assessment is after you've done the renovations. So that difference, you don't pay property tax for 10 years. And that is county and town. We really haven't had anyone take advantage of that, but I definitely see, especially with Tudor Hall expanding and toward the West Fenwick, we may have someone take advantage of that. The artists who sell work in town also get a income tax subtraction, and we do have a number of artists that use that incentive. And then the admissions and amusement tax, we have a very small admissions and amusement tax that we've collected. I think Action Billiards, I think we get something from them, but it's very small. But now with the Rex Theater, they should qualify for this, and I've been working with them to look into that, so that could be a huge benefit for them as well. And it's not a tax that we're used to getting, so it's not going to hurt our bottom line as well. And I think the partnerships that we've had over the years have certainly been very important. The Business Association, Visit St. Mary's, our individual businesses and sponsors, the Arts Council, and then, of course, the county commissioners, and we appreciate that they approved continuing with the incentive that we already talked about. So I did not receive any comments from the public.
And there's no one here with the public. So I assume we're having no comments. So
That's all I have at this time until we reopen the meeting.
since there are no comments, we could go ahead and close the public hearing, reopen the regular meeting.
I'll make a motion that we close the public hearing and reopen our regular meeting.
I'll second.
Motion second, all in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Thank you very much.
Okay, so again, this was the public hearing for the redesignation, and resolution 2-23 is what we're voting on today, and it talks about the different incentives that we just talked about. It is through the Secretary of Commerce. Previously, it was called the Department of Business and Economic Development.
Business and Development, or
Right, but now it's called the Secretary of Commerce who approves this. And through the Maryland State Arts Council, and it's a section out of that Commerce Department. And we talked about the boundaries and just keeping those boundaries the same. And I think if you just looking at the PowerPoint and just putting together the PowerPoint, it's just amazing. I think all the activities that we have going on and how we have been very successful. And I actually did a tour for the Calvert County Arts Council Director, and they are thinking about doing a district in Calvert. but he's visited several, and he said that ours is kind of like what people compare it to, that we've done so much, even though we're a small area, we have done a lot, and even the committee said, for the size of our town, we have so much going on, and I appreciate everybody who supports that.
Right.
Any questions?
Just really excited about Jaws coming.
Me too. Yeah, fun.
And the big rubber ducky, wasn't there a rubber
I'm trying
ducky?
to get them at
Okay.
the same time, but I haven't had much communication with them since.
And having this designation allows us to get different grants and things available to, doesn't it, or does it not?
Not really the Arts and Entertainment District. The big thing is the incentives that we talked about for both building owners and artists, but also the press and the prestige. Because when someone who's really interested in art is looking for a town they want to visit, they a lot of times know you're guaranteed there's going to be a certain level of art-related activities and assets in an arts and entertainment district. And like I said, there's only 29 of them, and we're featured as that. We have our own page on the state website for arts and entertainment. We do receive some funding each year from the Maryland State Arts Council for the district. It's typically in the $15,000 range. We got more 17 this year, plus we got a larger 22,000. I can't remember the Argos funding. We got a significant amount. I just recently ordered some children's musical instruments for outside for the little parkette and a couple for the wharf.
That's very
just ordered
cute,
them on Friday, and that's going to come from the Argos funding, which we did not anticipate. I think it was maybe 24,000 in Argos funding, so that won't be recurring every year, I don't think, but it was something that did come through this. So.
Awesome.
That wasn't the one that's going to pay for the arches, right?
No, that's the Maryland State Arts Council Public Art
Goodness.
grant that we got.
Can't keep up.
So many grants. Now, Department of Commerce was under them, the tourism grant that we got last month for the trolley. We did get that from Department of Commerce, but it wasn't the Arts and Entertainment District, but the same department.
Oh my goodness, okay. How many districts are there total? Do we know? I know you said there's 29 districts.
in Maryland.
But out of a total, there's only 29 that are arts. And
So,
entertainment.
Arts and Entertainment designation, there's only
Okay.
29 in the whole state.
Okay.
And that has to go through this process every 10 years. I mean, there's other type of designations, which we're also working on, our Sustainable Communities designation, which that we have got in 2017, I believe, something like that. So we're working on that redesignation and all as well. And then, as you know, the Main Street designation, which we're working on the Maryland Main Street designation, but there's nationwide, there's Main Streets all across the nation. So there's different types of designations for sure.
Very good keeping track of all.
Any other comments, questions?
All right, well, I move to approve Resolution 2-23 in support of the redesignation of Leonardtown as an arts and entertainment district by the Secretary of Commerce.
I'll second.
Motion is second, further discussion. Hearing none, all in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Thank you very much.
Our application is due by the end of this month, so we're working on it feverishly. And it's about a notebook about this big.
Yeah.
Wow.
It's a big, it's a lot of work. Kathy is doing a lot of the writing. We've brought Nell Elder in, she was on the original committee as well, and she's kind of reviewing as well as myself and working on the different aspects of it. And then the last item on my agenda is the extension of the trash contract to WB Waste Systems. And I did ask Jackie to be here in case we have any questions, because she's our resident expert. I do have kind of a lot to read here. If I could just walk through it, because I think it's really important to understand the whole process and where we're at. This contract was last bid July of 2014 and was for a 5-year term with 2 2-year extensions available. The last extension year is ending June 30th of this year. Affordable Refuse originally was awarded the 2014 contract, and Good and Waste Management had also bid in addition to Affordable. In June of 2019, Good actually bought out Affordable and the contract was assigned over to Good. Good changed their name in January 2022 to WB Waste Solutions LLC, but it is the same company. Since 2019, when Good took over the contract, they have been extremely good to work with. They go above and beyond with their service to the town. Their regional supervisor, John McLeod, actually lives in the area and makes himself available any day of the week or the weekend. And Jackie will get texts and calls, and she'll call him even on Saturday, Sunday, and they are very responsive. We get a lot of compliments on them. This is the most onerous contract to bid and is very time consuming on a daily basis. Jackie is very knowledgeable and does a great job managing the day-to-day aspects of the contract as well as the bidding. As I said, we asked her to be here today in case we had any questions. Knowing that the contract term was coming to an end and the fact that Rebecca had always handled bidding the contract in the past, staff started researching and dialogue with very early on with WB Waste. Because of the many changes in the waste collection and disposal industry over the last several years, but especially since COVID, we are requesting that we do not go out to bid on the contract and instead extend the existing contract for 2 additional years like we have done with a few of our other contracts recently, because we believe it will be detrimental to our residents to rebid in the current environment. I know we did this with our lawn care bid for one. Based on the 2021 memo by Rebecca that I had gone over in the file, there was also a significant amount of research done at that time, which showed that the costs for town residents were significantly lower than out-of-town residents that have, even if they have Good as their collector outside of the town, they still had higher rates, but certainly with other companies. And we actually just recently followed up on some of that as well. And outside of the town, most companies have also forced residents to go to 1 day per week service, which we did a survey a few years ago, and our residents really did not want that at the time. Additionally, the level of service we provide to our residents and the volume of homes and commercial customers requires a company that's large enough to be equipped to handle this contract. So there's really not a whole lot of companies left, and we're not really sure who in this area other than Good would be able to handle it. In recent months, costs have risen dramatically, and the waste collection and disposal business has been hit extremely hard. The toters have risen from $45 to $80 a can. Dumpsters, the cost has risen doubled, $700 to $1,500. The front load trucks went from $250,000 to $400,000 to buy one. Fuel costs, as we know, have skyrocketed, and the trucks get about 3 miles per gallon. And of course, the disposal cost at the landfills has risen dramatically. Also during COVID, there was really a shift in the trash collection business as more people were at home, which meant more cars were at home that they had to maneuver around. It meant more people that they had to deal with, and more confrontation, less people in the labor pool, as with almost every type of business. And in speaking with a few towns who have recently bid their contracts, many are being forced to go to what is called a pay-as-you-throw system. When I talked to North Beach in January, they were considering that because they got an over a 50% increase when they bid their contract. And that's pretty much the norm. What companies or towns are seeing across the country is like upwards of 50% increases. That process, they basically have special coated bags, and that the residents pay for each bag of trash that they throw away, and it's tracked by the specially coated bag. So in FY22 and FY23 budgets, the council had used a surplus that we had built up to offset any increases in trash to customers. The reserve is now at about $18,000. And when we go through the budget process for FY24 here in the next couple months, we will be setting new rates based on what we do with this contract. Staff has worked with WB Waste to reduce the initial expected increase. As I said, we probably would have seen around 50%, but we've worked with them and we've gotten it down to 26.15%, which I know is a significant increase, but I really do believe that we would be hit a lot harder if we went out to bid. We believe this will be more beneficial than going out to bid in this economic environment. We are going to recommending some changes when we go through the budget process, especially with the commercial trash rates. We're gonna make it more uniform across the board. Right now, there's different types of trash service, and even within the food industry, there are some that pay higher rates than others. So I think we're gonna try to even that out and make it more fair. I think there were reasons, 20 years ago when the system was set up like it was. But I think now that the fair thing to do is make it more even across the board. Some commercial users are going to see a pretty hefty increase, and Jackie and I are trying to meet with them. There's some larger facilities that are really going to be hit hard, but we're trying to prepare them for that and kind of show them and do what we can to minimize the impact for some of them, whether it's changing the amount of service or the number of days. And we are going to send a notice with the March and June utility bills to notify people of the upcoming rates, and I think Dan mentioned it at LBA to the commercial businesses as well. For the residential side, the estimated increase is going to be about $5.43 a month, or $16.30 a quarter. So not significant when you look at what's going on across the scale. So any changes on that? We're not actually voting on the rates, we're just voting on the contract itself if we are going to extend it. My recommendation was to extend it for a 2-year period based on the proposal that they have given us for the first year. And if they are going to request an increase in the second year, they need to notify us by February 1st with supporting information about why they would be asking for an increase. So this rate would be for the next year and hopefully locked in for longer. And then the contract would be rebid in, is that 25?
Okay.
Yeah, really, the resident, excuse me, the residential especially is just going up $5.43 a month, really. I mean, I was expecting more than that.
Yeah, that's not bad.
Yeah.
But then, question, do the businesses pass their increased costs back
Yeah.
too?
Yeah.
They have to.
Yeah.
Pretty much, yeah.
How did they take it?
Well, we're not sure exactly what that rate's going to be yet, so.
Oh,
But I did let them know that there was going to be a rate increase. But also, I did mention that if you're on town water, sewer, and trash, that total cost is a lot less than being outside of town for the same, so, yeah.
I mean, we had some examples on that the last time. Let me see if I can find them quickly.
So will restaurants most likely be the higher,
Well, some of the restaurants, so
Increase.
some of them have been paying at a higher rate
right?
ongoing.
Yeah.
And so it's gonna be more evened out across all commercial
Right.
customers.
Okay.
The nursing homes?
The nursing home, the Cedar Lane, and the hospital are 3 of the ones that are gonna get hit harder because of the types of service that they have. But Jack is working closely with them to try to, do what we can to help them out on that. And then look, we're gonna be reconstructing some of the, there's a lot of shared containers downtown, and we've talked about a number of, maybe shifting around some of those and trying to make the system work better. Because, we have people dumping in those a lot of times, and, before we had it broken out to the heavier trash, which was food, but we also have people putting furniture in these dumpsters and things like that. So I think that evening it across the board for all types of commercial is probably gonna be the most fair way to do it, in what our research has been, so. That's what when we go through the budget process, we'll be working on the rates, because we set those as part of the budget process.
So in 2025, it'll be like a whole new RFP that would have to go out.
Right.
Okay.
So this would do, July of 23 till, July 1st of 2023 till June 30th, 2025. So in early 2025, probably in January, we would start the bid process.
Okay.
Any other comments, questions?
Who wants to make the big motion? It's long.
It's
I'll
a
make
long
it. I move to approve a 2-year extension to the municipal solid waste collection and disposal contract with WB Waste Solutions LLC, formerly known as The Good Companies, Inc. The term will be from July 1, 2023 through June 30th, 2025, with the presented rate increase effective for the first year, and contractor may request an increase for the second year beginning July 1, 2024. Such request would be made by February 1st, 2024 with supporting documentation. Denial of the request will not void the remaining term of the contract.
I'll second.
Further discussion? Hearing none, all in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Thank you very much.
Thank you. And just the last thing, I want to thank Will. He's been working really hard. He got the second TV up. He got our new microphone that's goes circle all the way around the room. That's
great.
Oh,
Yeah, it really does.
He's also working on outdoor cameras for us for the alleyway up on top of the hotel that will capture both the front and the back of the hotel and the parking lots that we have there.
And trash cans.
And trash cans and the alley. Hard work in the alley.
Yeah.
Thank you, Will. That's all I have.
That it? Okay, moving on to my report. LBA did meet Friday, had another nice turnout. Couldn't stay for that because I went to Mr. Medinsky's funeral, but did give a little presentation. But the next meeting is going to be the State of the Town breakfast at the Rex. So you'll get notice on that, so. But yeah, plenty of things going on in town, so plenty of businesses seem to be doing very well, so. And I understand there is a contract on the Bank of America building. Has she settled yet? I think she was.
Yeah, she's last
Did-
week. She
did
spoke to
settle.
her.
Okay.
I'm
Yep.
pretty sure she
Yep.
did.
Do we know what it's gonna be?
Well, we met with her, and I met her, and she met with Lachelle, and basically the front where the door is, she wants to lease that out, small space. Same with the back space on Fenwick Street, that's kind of separate. And then in the middle, set it up for office space with desks that you can just lease a desk. So, I don't know, I imagine she'll have a conference room, things like that.
She's
So.
gonna have a secure conference, like
Yeah.
a soundproofed conference room.
Oh, not like a classical.
No,
Yeah.
soundproofed.
Yeah. So I think that'll be
At least something's
be
going on.
good, yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, I know next door I've got some defense contractors that are tired of working from home. They wanted someplace
Awesome.
to work, so they leased some space out here.
Yeah, it's a nice opportunity.
Yeah, yeah. So, okay, moving on to council reports, events. Heather.
Mall Dyer weekend was amazing. So just a really good job to everybody who was part of organizing that, and then, you know, keeping up with the weather.
Yeah.
We had snow.
So many people came in to get their prizes for the scavenger hunt. Mary Agnes scavenger hunt, and a couple people asked for me to come up there so they could tell me how much. Like, you know, this one lady did the scavenger hunt with her 27-year-old and 32-year-old son, I think, and they all had a ball, and they went in the Rex and tried the winning drink, and they just did all kinds of stuff that they didn't know about. So it was really, and Visit St. Mary's really did a good job on the scavenger hunt.
Yeah.
They really did.
I thought so too, and the Historical Society as
Yeah.
well, and just having the whole program to
Yes.
kind of kick it off over there.
Very nice.
I thought it was a great event, and I look forward to that every year. I like that we've extended it for an entire weekend, so. And I like the be kind message. Good job, Lachelle and team. Upcoming, the annual hospice run, super exciting. That's on April 15th. We'll have the Coastal Arts Market also. That's a very busy weekend.
Yeah.
And then Earth Week celebration. Are we doing anything with the sustainability?
Well, there's
Stuff that
lots of
we're kind of
activities that will
working- okay.
qualify for that, for
Okay.
sure. There's a contest, I think, for cleanup, contest for neighborhood cleanups and stuff. And the good thing about this year's Earth Day is it's the businesses themselves. We're not doing a big
Mhm.
event, but it's the businesses themselves that pull together to do different things in there, and we're just trying to promote their activities that they're doing, which is really something
That's
that
great.
we've been trying to
I
make
like
happen, so that's great.
I like that. The spring bar crawl. That's exciting. April 21st. Is that the same weekend as that place over in Solomon's?
I think it is the same.
It's usually Tiki Bar.
Yeah, I think it is, yeah. And then it's the plein air at the wharf. Our summer music festival, that's exciting, kicking off. I'm excited to see Latrice perform. And Music and Dance Appreciation Day, April 29th, and the Spring Fling Car Show on April 30th.
And in addition to that, the Spring Fling Car Show, the Rotary is bringing back the running of the balls.
Get out! When is
Yeah.
that?
That's the same day as the
car show.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Oh, that's
And
a
it'll-
good
it'll be
event to
down.
have it with.
Be down Fenwick Street because that's closed anyway.
Yeah, that's
Oh,
awesome.
very good. All right.
Yeah, if anybody needs any balls, let me know.
Lots coming up in Leonardtown. Spring is here,
Yep, there we go.
Yep.
and the trolley starts in May.
It's actually, because we got a larger grant, I'm working out the schedule now. We're trying to start at the weekend of the bar crawl, and whether it's every weekend starting then or not, I'm just kind of working with
Okay.
the company to see what we can afford, but, usually June, July, and August, it runs all month, and then May 1st Friday through November 1st Friday, so I'm seeing what I can work out, so we're not really announcing the full schedule quite
Okay.
yet, but, any day now, we should know that.
Very good. Thank you.
That
That's it. Thank
Okay.
you.
Nick, Community Development and Planning.
All right, thank you, Mayor. Well, I really only have two things to report on. First being the Route 5 work. Hopefully they'll start up next month once the temps come up a little bit. So look forward to seeing that, hopefully. And then, as everyone's aware, the Dairy Queen, they did start construction. Took down the car wash, sad to see, but it is coming. So just everyone, please, take it slow in that parking lot in that area because do have part of it blocked off. So just tell everyone to take it easy. I think there was an accident earlier today, so.
Really, I saw that.
But that didn't have anything to do with them.
Yeah.
She just
Yeah,
pulled
I think it
right
was
out
a
of
truck.
Yeah, she
Baltimore.
pulled, yeah.
Yeah, it was on Route 5.
Yeah.
Just everybody trying to get out of there, just take it slow, take it easy.
Just about the DQ though, people are always asking. We're actually going to have two lanes going around that. One that'll hold 18 cars. It's 18 cars for the drive-through. Then a separate circle to go around if you need to get around there.
Oh, good.
So it's not going to be as bad as.
Yeah, that's definitely help.
Yeah. So.
And then the only other thing was just as Heather mentioned, the Moldar weekend was fun. I was able to go, and weather wasn't the greatest. It was nice to see some snow, but still a great time. All the businesses did special drinks. It was really just a lot of fun. So I was happy to be
Show
with you.
that night too. The both nights.
Yeah.
Show
Yeah.
the
Show,
rest,
yeah.
Yeah.
Christy and I had the best time.
Yeah, it was a great weekend. So
Yep.
that's everything from me.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Christie, utilities.
I don't have much. I just had a quick question. Have we issued the NTP for the treatment plant?
Yes, we actually had our first payout of $865,000.
Right, mobilization card,
But they
yeah.
have all the sediment erosion control. They've had their
Great.
meeting with MDE and sediment erosion, and that's all going. And they've started working. So
Awesome.
yeah.
Great.
They've removed the trees where the new facility's going in.
I thought I had noticed that. Yeah.
And
Awesome.
I
I'll have
think
to write down
they're
that.
prepping for the trailers. I don't know if they got in down there yet. There's 2 construction trailers coming in. So.
Awesome. Great. Excited to see that going.
That it?
That's it.
Okay, thank you. And Jay, Southern Maryland Municipal Association update.
All right, thank you. So in February, I attended the Maryland Mayors Association Winter Conference that was held in Annapolis. That was my first time attending that. I really enjoyed it. So they had a representative there from Convey 911, Chris Dew. He was doing an overview about what you call 911, different languages that everyone speak, and it pretty much translates it for the dispatchers so they know exactly what they're reporting. So I was there to kind of give an overview of 911, what we do, and also with the director of Baltimore City 911, she was there. So together we kind of collaborated on what we do and provided a lot of education to all the mayors there. So I think they found it interesting. And I think Teresa Coons, the executive director of MML, would like to keep that on track, maybe for a summer conference or something we can just do to kind of educate everyone about 911 and what we do. So that was very beneficial. And then as far as the next Maryland Municipality Board of Directors meeting, that's going to be in April, and that's going to be held in College Park at their town hall.
Okay.
So, and that's all I have. Thank you.
Thank you. And Mary, business development and retention.
Thank you, Mayor. I'd like to thank all the businesses who have been supporting the Leonardtown High School Rose Players Music Man, which is coming in 2 weeks. I was over there yesterday doing set painting, and it's cool. They have a whole town, and they've got the signs of some of the local businesses actually in the town.
That's cute.
So it was really fun, and just for anybody that goes, I was there set painting. This town was not me. The flat white wall was me. That was me. I don't do any creative. I'm a tax person. I don't do creative. But it's really great, and I want to thank Mayor Burris for coming out. He did a meet and greet with the mayor of River City, and we got to walk around and we got pictures and a lot of the local businesses, and Social came out and actually posted about them. So that was really great. So I think we're getting a lot of support from the town. So it's fantastic. So if you want to see the show, that'll be 2 weekends, not this weekend, but the next 2 weekends at Leonardtown High School. And that's all I have.
Very good. Thank you. Anybody have anything else for the good of the cause? Okay, hearing none, I'll entertain a motion to adjourn.
Move to adjourn.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Thank you very much.